We have a major Toronto Blue Jays free agency update surrounding Teoscar Hernandez. Brand new reports have dropped revealing some very interesting details surrounding the Jays' pursuit of Teoscar Hernandez, and this could change everything for the Toronto Blue Jays offseason. So we're going to break that down in this episode, as well as discuss some other rumors that are circulating surrounding the Blue Jays and some new updates there. Stay tuned for all that in this episode, but ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. It is, of course, December 25th, so happy holidays to all of you that celebrate. Thank you guys again for your continued support this entire year. We're not going to stop. Hopefully you're enjoying the holidays with your family. 2025 is right around the corner. The goal is to hit 15K by then. So if you can help us hit, towards that goal by hitting the subscribe button, it would mean the world to myself and Peter. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for your support, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you all. But ladies and gentlemen, it is, I'm hoping with Christmas today and the holidays, we'll see a Jays transaction over the next few days. And signs are pointing in the positive direction if you're a part of the Teoscar Hernandez club here. You see this article that dropped by Sports Illustrated. And of course, this is Sports Illustrated. We're going to dive into a couple new reports that dropped as well. But I just wanted to, give this first to highlight it. You can see multiple reports are dropping. Toronto Blue Jays' odds of landing Teoscar Hernandez seem to be increasing. And the reason behind that is a bunch of different reports. So bear with me here as I go through them. We're going to start with this one. So this is from Chris Cotillo. He is a notable and probably the best, or one of the best, of course. I got to give credit to everyone here. Red Sox reporters. It doesn't sound like the Red Sox have intensified. So it doesn't sound like they've intensified their efforts on Teoscar Hernandez, at least at this point, or to this point, sorry. Lists of available top bats still include Bregman, Pete Alonso, Anthony Santander, Jurickson Profar, and others. So at this point, you can see this from Chris. He basically says that the Red Sox at this point are not pursuing Teoscar Hernandez and haven't upped their efforts to pursue Teoscar. And obviously, we know a bunch of teams, most notably the Los Angeles Dodgers. They were the primary target for Teoscar Hernandez. They were the team that was going to go for Teoscar the strongest. They were going to push for him the hardest because, of course, they just won a World Series there. Obviously, Teoscar just won there. He was vocal about wanting to return. But according to all reports, Teoscar, as we know, we've been covering on the channel, wants the most money. You can see this from Thomas Hall. The remaining free agent market is shaping up perfectly for the Blue Jays. All they have to do now, is strike. And that is true for Alex Bregman being available. That is true for even guys like Pete Alonso, Anthony Santander, but most notably Teoscar Hernandez, because we know at this juncture the Jays are heavily pursuing Teoscar Hernandez and that Teoscar wants to make the most money. If it wasn't about the money, he would have already signed with the Dodgers. We saw some reports come out a few days ago saying that he's looking for an offer in the 3 to 4 year range between $66 and $72 million over 3 years, something of that nature. And the Dodgers only offered, I believe it was a 2-year deal in the 20-ish, bit more than that, $25 million AAV over 2 years, which is something that Teoscar Hernandez does not want. He does not want a 2-year deal. That was what the Dodgers offer was. So then you had teams like the Red Sox kind of step into place and be like, hey, maybe the Red Sox will step up and steal them from the Blue Jays. That's not going to happen. So now the really only teams that seem to be left are, again, the Jays and the Dodgers. And maybe the Dodgers will up their efforts because they know they can get them at a certain price. But if you're the Toronto Blue Jays, you have to be all in on Teoscar. And again, this is the report and rumor that's dropping from Chrono Live. Blue Jays seem to be throwing around some, cash for someone to take this winter. They have an offer for Burns, reportedly mid $200 million at 7 years, and they are making an impactful push for Teoscar Hernandez. That's another report coming out that they are making an impactful push for Teoscar. We know that they're making a very strong one for Teoscar nonetheless, but now seeing all these other teams start to drop out, and it's honestly not just in the sense of Teoscar and in the landscape of Teoscar Hernandez. Bregman is still available. A lot of teams are dropping out on Alex Bregman. There's a lot of things that are falling into place for the Jays if they're willing to actually go the extra mile, go out of their calculated projections, because we know how the Jays front office works. They love sticking with their numbers. If they push a little bit, they don't stick with their numbers, they'll be in very, very good shape. And you see Alex Cora says the Red Sox are good with pitching, and now they're looking for a right-handed hitting second basaman. That takes them out of, in theory, Teoscar and Alex Bregman. So then you're starting to think about, okay, if the Red Sox are adding a lot of these guys, the Red Sox were the Blue Jays' number one threat to a lot of these players, or at least, top threat. Of course, the Dodgers are probably the number one threat to Teoscar at this point, even though all signs are pointing to Teoscar wanting the most money. And I'm not entirely sure that the Los Angeles Dodgers at this point are really willing to give. Again, they've been spending money like crazy. They signed Michael Conforto. They obviously signed Shohei Ohtani last offseason. They signed everybody they want to. Of course, we know that. But what they haven't done is really shown a willingness to go above and beyond on Teoscar. Because we know for the Dodgers, if they want somebody, they go out and get them. It's been weeks now. It's been months of offseason, and they haven't gotten Teoscar Hernandez. So either Teoscar really wants to return to Los Angeles, and then he's just holding out for the best possible deal from them, kind of like a Corbin Burns situation with San Francisco, the Giants, or a more realistic possibility is that the Jays are really going to up their offer, or have to up their offer a little bit more to get Teoscar. We know he's been working out with Vladdy. We know they've been really working together a bunch this offseason. They're like best friends. All these different things are lining up. The Jays want Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to extend in Toronto. We know from recent reports that he is willing to at the right price, probably somewhere near $500 million and in that range. So if you want to really make fans happy again, flip the whole, flip the narrative upside down. Get Teoscar Hernandez. And according to an LA reporter, the Dodgers and Teoscar's camp haven't been in contact with each other in days. Are the Dodgers officially moving on without Teoscar? All these different reports are starting to drop, which all lend credence to the fact that the Jays are in prime position to strike and to make a huge signing surrounding Teoscar Hernandez. Now, will this happen? There is a very good possibility that, in my opinion, at least, they're probably going to go out and get one of these guys. I've been saying that all year long. All these reports are pointing to them getting one of Santander or Teoscar. Who you'd rather is up in the air. Let me know down below. Who would you rather out of, Teoscar and Santander? I think it's a flip of the coin. One's older. Teoscar's older. Santander's younger. Different term. Different things like that. But there's a reason that these people, not these people, there's a reason everybody is saying, hey, this is why the Toronto Blue Jays are big threats to get a guy like Teoscar Hernandez. And it is because of how good he is. And ultimately, Teoscar is so good that we saw him with the Toronto Blue Jays and how well he performed. We saw how good he can be. As a result, if he can continue to just go ahead and sign with the Blue Jays, he's coming off of a career year with the Dodgers, of course, but sign with the Blue Jays, hit a bunch of home runs, protect Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in that lineup, then if you're Ross Atkins, you got to be pretty happy with a signing of Teoscar Hernandez. Go ahead, extend your budget a little bit. Go out of your projected, numbers. Go above and beyond to get a guy that you really need. He's 32, seeking a 3-year deal between 66 and 72 million, according to a person briefed in the negotiations. The contract length does not appear to be the point of contention between the parties. The issue is money. If a deal between Hernandez and the Dodgers falls through, the Jays may stand to benefit. The Jays have been tied to Teoscar since the offseason started, sorry. Adding him to the middle of the order would give Vladdy protection, and of course you have Bichette. And he's 32 years old. There's some familiarity there. There's a lot of things going for, this deal. And I think it would make a ton of sense if you are the Toronto Blue Jays to go ahead and say, hey, we're going to give you that extra little bit of money. We'll give you, let's say it takes $80 million in 3 years to get Teoscar to Toronto. Is it great value? Probably not. Does that matter? I'm not entirely convinced that it matters because at this point, you do what you have to do if you're the Toronto Blue Jays to get this done. And we know that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has come out and he's been complaining about the front office. We know all these things. Vladdy needs to extend. We need the team to be good in order for, of course, not only Vladdy to extend, but to compete over the next handful of seasons. And finally, Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro are on the final years of their deal. So everything is pointing, all signs are leading to the Toronto Blue Jays making a at least strong effort for Teoscar Hernandez. And if they strike out on Teoscar and Santander, knowing that they could have gotten them if they just upped their price a little bit, then there's going to be some serious concern regarding this front office because at this point, they need to go out, they need to make a deal. And ultimately, it's on them now to go above their limit and go to an uncomfortable amount. They're willing to do it for Juan Soto. They were willing to do it for Shohei Ohtani. Are they willing to do it for Teoscar or Corbin Burns? That is what is yet to be seen. And I do think, according to these new reports, things are looking more likely each day surrounding the Toronto Blue Jays. Let me know down below, ladies and gentlemen, what your thoughts are on that. And thank you guys very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Again, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all.